Howdy, it's Tubalcain again, and this is Myth Breakers #1, my new series. And if it's successful, there'll be many more if I can come up with topics and equipment to do this, but this one is entitled The Use and Abuse of a Crescent Wrench. And of course, a Crescent wrench actually is an adjustable wrench, that's the brand name, but I'll probably call it Crescent wrench through most of this video. Now, what is this all about? Well, I get corrected all the time, and I do know how to use a wrench correctly, and this photo here is out of ABC of Hand Tools by Disney, but a lot of people make a big deal out of how an adjustable wrench is turned in relationship to the jaws and claim that it can be damaged. However, I have about 100 Crescent wrenches around here, and I never have damaged one. And it's questionable of whether or not this is true, but we're going to attempt to prove it here with this video. Again, with this type of wrench, combination wrench, you can turn either way. Really doesn't make any difference. With a adjustable wrench, they're claiming that this is the correct way to do it. And a man in 1959, when I first started at the hardware store, corrected me, a customer. Said, "Son, you're using that wrench the wrong way," whatever it was I was doing. And this is, of course, the wrong way, and supposedly it'll damage this jaw. Now, if you take a look at this wrench, these are often abused wrenches. See how it's been beat up here over the years? And that jaw is a little bit loose, but yet still works fine. Now, everybody and his brother made these wrenches, and these particular ones here are adjustable wrenches, super adjustables by Williams. I'm attempting to pair up the same brand, but in this case, I've got awards against a Craftsman. So we got Sears against Monkey Wards here on these smaller ones. I really wanted to test 10 inch wrenches. This is an 8 and this is a 6, and I have all different sizes out in the garage. But 10-inch wrenches are about the only ones that I have that I don't have a lot of. Now, I've got these wrenches on every lathe, every machine as dedicated wrenches. I've got them on every tractor, in the trunk of every car, and so on. So adjustable wrenches are pretty handy. I'm going to show you a lot more of them here in a few minutes. But if you're not allowed to use one of these wrenches, I'll do whatever I want actually, in the wrong direction, you lose the advantage that you do with this type of wrench with the angle. And the head on these, according to the book, is about 22.5 degrees. So you never can get in there that way if you're going to follow that rule. So let's see what happens. And of course, this series is a takeoff from the one on TV called Mythbusters with Jamie and friend. It was Tom Garside that sent me an email and said, "Why don't you destructively test some of these adjustable wrenches to see if this is a bunch of baloney or not?" And then another man here, that's his number, about at the same time, sent me all these links here of confirming and explaining the use of adjustable wrenches. So you might want to look at some of those links there, but you'll have to type all that in. Pause your video. Probably nobody will do that anyway. But really, I should throw away all 110 of my wrenches and just retain these two, because there I got it all. And I got a third one too in a larger size out in the garage, I think. We'll see in a few minutes. But what I'm going to do here is destructively, I'm going to destroy these wrenches. I don't care. I got so many of them, and they're worth very little. Very, very little, because you can buy them by the box full at an auction. So what I'm going to do is the green wrench, the one that's marked green, will be held rather than on a hex, which could slip. I'm going to hold it on 3/4 square in the vise, put a large cheater bar on there, and I'm just going to force it until something yields, something breaks, something gives. And then we'll examine that. And the red one I will be using in the wrong direction to see what happens, and we'll compare the two. and those are 8-inch wrenches, and they're both Williams brand. Then these smaller ones here, which I don't care two hoots about, these are 6-inchers. One is Monkey Ward's and one is Craftsman, and they're 6-inch. I'll do the same thing. This one correct, green is correct, red is incorrect, but you can see that this Craftsman here looks like it's built much more ruggedly. Matter of fact, it's not a very elegant looking wrench compared to the Ward's, and this one looks suspiciously like either a Diamond, made by Diamond, or Crescent. I'm not sure, because like I said, everybody and his brother made these. And you know, I got handfuls and handfuls of these little ones too, but I don't know why I like these, because they're just so cute, I guess. Those are 4 inches. I must have 2 dozen of those. And I never use them because they're really too small to be practical. Well, let me put my coat on and gather up this stuff, and we'll go out into the cold garage and do that test. Now, this is really unscientific. It's just for the fun of it. I have no way of actually measuring the force. I'm just going to do it, put my big safety shield on, and do it until something gives. And we'll have, I hope it'll be interesting and maybe funny, I don't know. So, see you momentarily. I'm out in the garage now, and here's some of my other wrenches. This is a 20, 18, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, and 4. But notice that in the real old wrenches, this must be an absolutely ancient, genuine Crescent, but how thick and cloddy that is before they came up with what they called Crestalloy, which was probably some better alloy, but that's really thick. Also note that many adjustable wrenches are beat up right in this area because they were used as a hammer, and then sometimes the jaw doesn't slide freely. But again, oh, there's the other one. So I got 3 of these in different sizes, and that's old enough to also where it's not Crestalloy. Boy, I got a harsh window here with the lighting, but that's real thick there. But, you know, you got one of these and a screwdriver and a hammer, and you get a toolbox and 3 tools. And of course, many more where those came from. So I don't mind destroying a few in this video. Now I'm just about to the actual test. About time, some of you are thinking. There's a piece of 1-inch black pipe 3 feet long. That is my cheater bar. Got a face shield. So I'm going to take the green one here, which is going to be the one that I use in the correct direction. There's that 3/4 stock and my 5-inch vise. I'll put that right in there. Not out here. Not that I could twist off 3/4 inch with that weeny little wrench, but I'll put it way up there. Tighten it as tight as I can, and I'm just about ready to slide that on there and break it off. So stand by. All right, here we go, and remember, I'm turning this in the so-called correct direction, which will be down. I can't get it to break. I'm going to try it again with a new bite, but apparently this 8-incher in the correct direction is not going to break. No. And it still operates. And look what it did to the bar. I'm really surprised at that. Now here's the 8-inch red Williams wrench, the wrong direction. I'm also going down, and let's see what happens to that. Wow. Very interesting. The so-called movable jaw still moves and operates. The delicate jaw did not break off, and it moves nicely. I'm shocked at that. Absolutely shocked. Isn't that interesting? So, from looking at that, well, I don't think we broke the myth, because it ruined the wrench, but yet not the jaw that normally is suspected. Well, all right, let's run through the same thing now with the 6-inch wrenches. All of these wrenches are made in USA. It says molybdenum alloy, Ward's master quality. The same 3/4, it barely fits on the 3/4, but that's fine. Put it out here where tighten it up as much as I can, and again, this is the correct one. I'm going to go down with this. Let's see what happens. That is damaged. It's not broken, but it is damaged and jammed. And that was in the correct direction. Again, this isn't very scientific, because now I'm going to use a different brand of wrench. This is a Craftsman, but it's also one of the older, so it's made in USA. I think all of the Craftsman stuff now is imported. That barely fits. Now, this may be a problem here, that I'm at the maximum capacity of the wrench. But let's do it like this, and to remain consistent, and see what happens. Again, we got a surprise, so that's not what probably any of us expected. Pays to buy the best. All right, let's go down to the basement and summarize this. In summary now, I'm going to say that the myth was broken in Mythbreakers 1, because from what I had read, they always talked about damaging the movable jaw, and in this case we damaged and broke off the fixed jaw. Admittedly, this is probably a weak point compared to the way it's built over here, but nevertheless, look at that, it broke right off. And again, that's a Williams forged in USA adjustable wrench, 8-inch, which will now go to the recycler. I might save some parts. You know, it's always handy to have these parts. No, I won't. I got too much junk around here. But that's what's surprising. And then on this one, the already abused wrench, this is the one that was hammered on in the past and is a little bit loose here, and you can see that somebody was very careless with this, whatever they did. And maybe it just saw a lot of hard use. That's also a Williams adjustable, and it's just fine. That was the one that was in the correct direction, the green one. Undamaged. The red was the wrong direction, but the wrong jaw is broken, and that's why I'm going to call that The myth was broken. Let me show you something else. Williams also made these wrenches here that had a lock. Some other brands had that too. So it would hold it in that adjustment. Okay, that's it on the 8-inch. The myth was broken. Now that's arguable, I know. Give me your comments. Give me thumbs up if you like this, so I know whether to proceed with more of them. One other thing I wanted to show you, and you can see that this piece of key stock here was damaged by the jaws. And in fact, notice here that square stock doesn't fit in there quite as far as if I had used a hex bolt instead. So I'm sure some people are going to say that I should have done this, and maybe I should have with a hardened bolt, because then the bolt goes in just a little farther and maybe it wouldn't have slipped and done this. So that's open for debate as well. Of course, in a laboratory situation, if they were doing this, they would measure the amount of force that was put on there. I don't know what it was in foot-pounds. And these are two different brands. So I'm going to say that the myth was broken here too, because both correct and incorrect destroyed the wrenches. Because this one, possibly I can free it up, but I can't even begin to move it at the moment. I mean, it's just bound up. And that's the Monkey Wards. And the Sears Craftsman, I mean, it's just a basket case, and broke totally in the opposite area of what I expected. I did expect some of these wrenches to possibly fail in here, bend or flex or something. And I know I was putting way too much force on it, but that's the idea of a destructive test. So there it is. The myth is broken. Use your Crescent adjustable wrench in any direction you want. Pay no attention to the nitpickers. Hope you like this. This is Tubalcain saying so long for now, and watch my 600 or more other videos.